Alright guys, out of Nesworthy right now, trying to get something going. It's not really the ideal lake because of the boaters, but we're going to try and night fish for some crappie, and we're kind of limited on light power, so we're going to see what happens. So stay tuned. Hopefully we'll be able to put some fish on the camera before it gets dark. Finally got the GoPro back in action. Alright, catch you guys in a little bit. Evening guys. Well, it's Monday. I hit it pretty hard on Saturday. Me and a buddy of mine, Bucky, who's a childhood friend, took off and took the kayaks out to Twin Buttes on the South Pool, and we got there probably about 6:30 in the morning, just before the sun came up. By the time we got there, it was already, getting light, but man, the fish were up in the shallows, just like it was regular spring day. And I think I nailed about 7 on the bank before I ever got the camera out. And we launched out and we got a few more, but after the sun really came up, man, it just died off. We weren't using anything, but I think we had worms, but other than that, we were just lure fishing. And I'd set up a 2-jig rig for crappie, and to be honest with you, they loved it. That was about the only lure they bit. I mean, I tried some topwater. Oh, one of my swim baits that I used to have good luck with on the north side, and boy, nothing, they didn't touch it. But the redhead jig, they loved that thing. It had kind of a blue with the chartreuse body with flake in it, and boy, they ate that thing up. I've got one picture or one video where I've got 2 crappie, and I actually got them at the same time, and that was the only time that happened that day. Like I said, after it kind of got a little later in the day, they just stopped biting. So we packed up that afternoon and went in, and then I turned around and went back to Nesworthy on Saturday night. Now, I got out there probably about 4:30, 5 o'clock, and tried the bridge, just so I had the pylons kind of shield me. But with all the boat traffic, man, the water was churned up. And really, to be honest with you, if you're going to fish Nesworthy during spring and summer, you really should go late at night, night fish, or early in the morning. Say about 10 o'clock, you're done, because the boat's coming out. Once that happens, it's just no good anymore. So I packed up and I left and went over to Spring Creek. Now, there's a spot on a place that we call the Horseshoe that Dad found many years ago when we had a boat, and we used to go there and fish at night for our crappie, because we usually found really nice sized crappie there. And the tree's gone. We used to tie up to the tree. It was about, I'd say about 20 feet from the bank, and but it's gone now. And so I have to kind of use my memory, and I spot it, and I usually can find it. And I tried fishing there till about 2 o'clock in the morning. Not really. I mean, I caught a couple, but other than that, nothing. Everything was small Saturday. I didn't find anything of any size. They were all pretty small, 7, 8 inches. Nothing to brag about. But about 2 o'clock in the morning, I stopped and headed back in. My body was really aching at that point, and I really stayed out longer than I should have. But I told this buddy of mine, I said, I'm like a bulldog. Once I get a thought in my head that I'm going to go fishing, I grind it out, and I will stay there until literally I can't walk. Not the smartest thing in the world, but anyway, so I got to the bank, and that's where all the stupid fish were. So I started fishing near by the bank, and I started getting action, and finally caught a keeper. When I say keeper, it was right at 10 inches, so I let it go. But that was the only fish of any size that I'd caught the whole day. Anyway, I've got some footage for you. It's not a lot, a little bit, some from the day and a few pictures from at night, because these cameras, they aren't doing too good at night in the low light. So I use my backup. This always goes with me when I go on a trip. This is a Windows phone. Now, I basically just use this thing for a spare camera if the batteries die in these cameras, or video if I just absolutely have to. I don't like doing it because, you know, it's got the blacked out on both sides. But primarily what this thing is for is an MP3 player. Anyway, it does take really good low light pictures though. It's got a decent camera on it. So that's what I did. That's why I used it. So you'll see some of those in there. Don't get excited. Really, they're all tiny. The 10-inch crappie was the biggest fish I caught, except for maybe a drum. I got a drum. It might have been 11 inches, but still, baby. I couldn't find any good, decent fish anywhere. Not where I fished, anyway. So, there you go, guys. Anyway, I'm going to let you go. You guys have a great night. God bless, and ride the waves, y'all.